Alright everybody, welcome back to another session of Geekin' Nerd Out. So in this one we're going to go over the blueprints that are going to get nerfed. So I mean you already saw it, it's the nerf on the meta, the most OP guns in the game. They took down the DMR and they even took down the Mag 10. So when you take a look at this one, we're going to go over how the guns fire again. You're going to see how they shoot at a distance and how they shoot up close. So I'm going to give you a couple examples of that. The rest of the video is going to show you a bit of my gameplay. I'm going to give you a couple tips and tricks on what to do in certain situations and how to avoid doing what I did at the end where I made a mistake and it cost us the game. Alright, so just make sure that you hit like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. And remember, this video is for those of us that are normal players, not pros. So this is how I got from being a .60 player at the beginning of summer, and now I am playing at a capacity where I'm more like a 1 dot something. Alright, so take a look at the stats later, and we'll go from there. Alright, so in this first clip, you're going to see me shooting at a car that's going to be carrying a group of 4. They are within about 50 meters, so I'd say realistically it was about 30 meters or so. So you're going to see how you can rapidly fire at them and take them out. So pay close attention to the grouping of the bullets at that distance. You'll be able to see that you can laser somebody who's just right there in front of you. And then after that, I'm going to show you another clip where at a distance, the recoil does affect you. So in this first clip, you're going to see that they're about around over 36 meters, because my teammate that's nearest, if you pause it, is at about 36 meters.
UAV overhead.
Now in this clip, you're going to see that my nearest teammate's about around 50, almost 60 meters away, and I'm trying to shoot somebody on top of the building that's right ahead of me. And when I crack him, you can actually see at some point when you pause it that he's at about 93 or 98 meters. I can't remember exactly. So that's how the DMR was affected by the nerf, and in my defense, it doesn't really look nerfed to me. I mean, they slightly gave it a little bit of recoil, and that's about it. And next up is going to be the Mag 10. I mean, you tell me, I'm just going to show you one clip of it, because there's not really much to show you. It works the same. Alright everybody, so if you're kind of wondering how other people are getting a lot of kills, especially like the streamers or anyone who's doing or interested in doing kill race games, what you want to do is you're going to go throw out your UAV and you're going to go after the teams that have their show up on your UAV. The reason why is because they usually don't have a loadout, or they'll have guns that fire and show up as red dots. So when they show up as red dots, that means they're stock guns and they'll be more vulnerable to you if you have a loadout. The other thing you're going to look at is if you look at my map that just showed up, you're going to see that there's multiple teams shooting each other. So that's a sign that you can go get them while they're distracted. You probably grab one of the teams from behind and take out the other one right after that, because they'll probably be weakened or have less armor at that point. Right now, you just saw a prime example of that. The other two teams you saw, they were fighting each other, and one guy was looking to escape, and he looked like he was pretty weak. As soon as he hit the ground, I popped him with just a few shots, and he just downed. Real easy. So in this clip, I'm going to show you a little bit about positioning. So when you're kind of trying to go chase after somebody, you already know where they are, but you're not sure where anybody else is on the map. You want to make sure that you don't show to the other team. You don't want to stick yourself out too far and overcommit, and then you get shot. So right here, I was just kind of hopping out because I already knew there wasn't anyone coming from behind us. So now I'm taking the shots. At the same time, I don't want anyone from the left side of the building to show, but I'm kind of peeking, so I stepped out a little bit just so I could get a view. So you see how I'm making that motion where I'm going left and right? You're strafing like that just so that way you can make sure that nobody else is out there, and you can kind of get a look, because I mean, look at the screen. It's pretty nice and wide. Now I know there's nobody on that end, and still we're pretty sure no one's behind us for the most part, just because we did the last team that came from there. But right now I'm taking a look left and right, trying to see if there's anybody else on the other building just a little bit, and then I'm sweeping right back to the left just to make sure. But right then I got lucky, and we heard the box drop down. So then It alerted us and let us know that there was a team directly behind. So luckily they didn't see me first because they could have took me out real easy when I was standing at the door shooting the other team, right? So about here, I'm just trying to do whatever I can to pop them. And just double checking, make sure nobody else is coming from that same direction. And do one more check, make sure that they're not still there. And just because our teammates in that area, I'm pretty sure they aren't. Because otherwise you'd be shot or shooting them. So over here, I'm trying to see if there's any way we could spot the truck. And they happen to be over there. And I downed 2 of them back to back. Too bad they're at a distance. I couldn't get close enough to finish.
Good to go.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone. Contact front. Your way.
So right here, this is where I noticed that somebody just got bought back. So I'm trying to go search for him. Notice somebody on the other side of the wall, but I know there could be somebody nearby. So I got to keep checking. And since they're the trailers, you can look under it. Luckily, I happen to have a heartbeat sensor, and he showed up. So everyone's on the other end, and then they're pushing towards the back. So I figure I'm gonna come in under. I got lucky. He's right there in front of me. Kind of gifted though.
25 remaining.
3 kill. And then once again, kind of taking a quick peek and looking. I somehow didn't notice him pop out, but that's why you don't pop out of those walls, out of any hidden space slowly like he just did. Because then that's actually what gets you killed a lot. So you just need to make sure if you're going to be in those open spaces, you're moving quickly. And then, so we noticed that another guy is behind us. And watch this, I'm going to show you how you hop around the wall so that way you make sure they don't actually shoot you. And they get more of a surprise. Kind of works with a little bit of, there's like a tiny bit of lag that you create by jumping this way too. So you saw that little hop I did? That little hop actually gets you most of your fights won. Especially when you're jumping from behind cover.
Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel. RTB for resupply. I'm moving.
So at this point, I'm taking a look at the map. We're kind of noticing where everybody is and their dots. And it's crazy because it seems like everybody's just showing up. But one thing you always want to do is you always want to kind of stay at the edge of the circle at this point, especially at the end when you do your push, because you want to sweep everybody out, because you'll have an idea of where everybody is in terms of where they are in the circle, and there won't be anyone to your side. So you minimize where the enemies are going to be. And then by pushing forward, you're able to kind of take people out and hopefully win all these fights. And if you do that, then you're just taking everybody out, almost like you're sweeping through the whole map. Right here, you're going to notice that the guy's gun is sticking out, but I'm just trying to see if he has other teammates. And somehow I take the chance and get lucky, and I still take him out. Alright, so now I got this position. It's a pretty good spot because then there's nothing else behind me except for my team. And then we already know we're going to be pushing up towards the right. Unfortunately, one of my teammates gets taken out, and then earlier somebody had marked them in front of me, so I already know that there were going to be people coming up. My mistake is I didn't even take a look around to kind of gauge what's in the area. And see, because I didn't do that, I didn't even notice the sniper who was shooting under there. I kept my eyes on the second guy that popped up in between.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
In their
And this is the point where the mistakes start to happen. I spot a guy, and I already know there's somebody on my left, but then I'm still taking the risk of trying to shoot the one that was next to the bar. So, I mean, number one, I got lucky the other guy wasn't a great sniper, otherwise he would have took me out right off the bat. And that just gave my position away. Number two, I'm now in the open because I already started shooting, and I have no cover because the gas is already pushing on the hill. And then look at this, I'm standing in the middle. I only have this little hill on my side, and I'm hoping I'm going to take these guys out before they come out on my left. Here's where everything starts to get really messed up. I start noticing that it just feels like everybody's surrounding us. I notice my teammate gets dropped right behind me, so I know they're really close. I'm not sure how many there are. I don't have enough plates, and I try to run. Mistake is, I didn't try to clear the building, so I get taken out right up the stairs.
Only 10 remain.
Game over!